Hey, what's up? Dean, Sabre Performance. Back in the shop first thing in the morning, and I started working on the airboat again. Um, Whoops. So, first thing I wanted to knock out was the rudder handle on the right hand side, because that's going to determine what I could do with the switch mount and gauge mount. Um, so, what I did was um, measured everything up, and I started out, I made this like an insert for the tube that's on the boat. So I turned it down on the lathe over there. I turned it down and it fits pretty snug in the existing tube on the boat. And then I turned this end down so that it fits inside the 1-inch aluminum, and it actually is like perfect OD size. So I'll weld this joint right here, and then that'll keep it, inside the new handle that I'm making. And then what I'll do is I'll slide this in and position it, and then I'll drill through the existing tube and through this, and I'll either bolt it or use a pin, so it's kind of quick. He can remove it. And then I got the cheap Harbor Freight tube roller that I've over the last few years like modified. I put a hydraulic jack because the screw that turned down, like the big nut literally stripped one day on me. So I put a hydraulic jack. I extended the height to accommodate for the jack, and then I put like a, I don't know, a holder, a stop, whatever you want to call it, for another fancy Harbor Freight tool. This is a pipe threader, so it comes with a bunch of dies, and I use it for plumbing. But I took one of the die inserts and welded it right to the shaft of the tube roller, so it's electric. It rolls the die. It works really good. So I started out, I mean, that's a pretty tight radius on a piece of aluminum. And it could actually go a little bit tighter, but I don't need to. And then I came up and rolled it the other way. So all in all, when we set it in the boat, I'll go over there right now. So there's that tube there. Oh damn. It's hard to do with one hand. Ugh. Drop the insert. So dang it, I gotta do it again. This might be a long process here. There we go. So that insert slides inside of there, and it fits really good. But then so if you set the handle roughly where the other one is, you can see it matches like almost identical, and you can see how I had to like put a twist in the curve to bring it forward, which I mean I didn't have to do, but I kind of wanted it to be even with the other one. And then just did the secondary bend, and you can see it's a little bit off right now, but that's not really a big deal. Like I could put it back in there and tweak the bends a little bit, which I'll probably end up kind of tweaking this second bend. I'll leave what I got there because it matches real nice to the cage and everything, and it looks pretty close to the existing one. So I'll probably end up leaving, if we were center, yeah, I mean that's pretty close, like that first bend and up. So I'll take the second one and I'll just straighten it out just a hair, and make it level with the other one. I might do like another insert, like a little nub for the top, not way up there, it'll be down here, but I'll probably end up doing that. So I'm going to get on that real quick and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I got that taken care of. I got it welded onto the bottom there, and then I did end up doing like a little handle up there. But I had an issue here. I drilled the hole from the backside. I drilled through it, and then not really sure why I tried to run the tap through it, like with it in place and everything, and the tap got about halfway in, and then I tried to back it out and it literally just snapped the tap off inside. So I ended up having to cut the bar just backside of the weld, pick the little insert out, make a new insert, get it on there, weld it, and then bolt it in. So it is threaded all the way through the solid piece, and then I put the lock nut on there just because it had a little bit of wiggle, like front to back, because I ended up having to cut the tube. Had to cut a little piece out, I don't know where it is, to get the tap to like slide out. The little piece of tap that was sticking out, I tried to get it out with pliers and it just kept breaking the piece of tap. So in order to get this back out, I had to like slot the tube that's already on the boat right there. You can kind of see it right there, whereas this side's like a nice clean hole. They get everything dirty, so, but I mean, it is really, really close to being perfectly straight with the other one. And I did, oh, it's hard to see with the door open, but I did tweak that second bend to where now it's pretty much straight, you know, in line, perpendicular, vertical, whatever. So that came out good. I'm happy with that. And the little nub on the top just kind of adds to it, like a little comfort piece. But yeah, simple. Take the one bolt nut off and this handle will slide right out. And you go back to having the single handle. Kind of looks lawnmower-ish right now. So yeah, I'm gonna give the owner, he's actually Dean, a call and find out exactly what he wants to do with the gauge. If he is actually going to do the 6-inch, 7-inch, whatever it is, or if he's gonna stay with the 3.5-inch that comes with all the units. So I'm gonna give him a call, find out what he wants to do, and then yeah, I'll get started on all that. I still got to mount the Mac valve for the boost control, which isn't hard. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give him a call, find out what he wants to do, so I can try and knock out some more, the mount at least. That way I can get the switch panel mounted. Once I get the switch panel mounted, then I can start getting the rest of these wires in place and almost ready to fire it up. So I'll be back. All right, so left off, I got the handle all done, the other rudder handle, so that's a little nub on the top to kind of finish it off. So it's kind of rounded over. I need to clean it up. Everything I touch gets dirty. And then what I did was I took the old oil pressure sending unit out and put the transducer in, and they come with plugs. So I'll run this over like this, zip tie it, and then in one of the harnesses that comes in a sniper unit, this one here, right, or is it that one? Nope, it's this one. This harness here, it's the 8-pin harness. It has this orange wire here. You can almost read it. You can see it says reference on it. Right there, sensor reference. And then right there says 5 volts positive. And then there's a black one that says sensor ground. And then there's These, I believe these are all outputs. Yeah, these are, no, there's an input. So this is inputs and outputs. There's also another input and output harness that has a couple other things in it. Points output, which we won't use. Yeah, this has some other inputs and outputs. Tack output, digital gauge. Has a few different ones. But this one here, it'll clip into this one, the other half of it. Oh yeah. So this will plug in to here, and then this 5-volt reference will go to the oil pressure, and I also put the fuel pressure in. So being that the regulator's down here, it gives me more room to the balancer. And I'll debate on which way to run this wire. Either bring it back and maybe put a hole in this plate for the wire to sit in, and then do a zip tie on the backside so the wire can't pull back out. But this will also get tied into the 5-volt reference and the sensor ground. And then the other 2 wires will tie into 2 of the inputs in either this harness or the other harness. Depends on how I get them set up. And then I started trying to work through hooking the TBI style distributor up, which we've converted to like a magnetic pickup. We took the module out. I made a little plate to cover it a long time ago, where the module comes out, and then these 2 wires, the purple and the green, go inside to the magnetic pickup. So I made a little harness, like a jumper harness, to the MSD box, but then I had kind of thought that was wrong, and I couldn't remember, but I did the tack adapter harness that comes in the Sniper, and I did that into the tack, and then these 2 wires off the MSD box, orange and black, go to the coil. But that doesn't give us timing control through the Sniper, which is like a big thing with this, especially being boosted. If it wasn't boosted, I wouldn't worry so much about it. I'd put an HEI in it and let it ride. But we want to be able to adjust the timing curve with the amount of boost and all that stuff. So I spent probably an hour on the phone with Holley. I believe the rep was Chris freaking Light. I believe it was Chris, which immediately said, nope, you can't control timing with that distributor, which is weird because we did it through the Phytech. I just couldn't remember how to do it. So he got somebody else, and then they confirmed you can do it, but the issue is that that distributor is just a single magnetic pickup, and it's not very accurate according to them. So that's where they recommend like the HyperSpark or the dual sync distributor, but the HyperSpark is like built specific for the Sniper, and they sell the distributor, the CDI, and a coil, which obviously they want you to buy all of that. But being that we already have a coil, an MSD coil, it's just a blaster tube, and then we have an MSD digital 6+ box, we just need the distributor. And they're super easy to stab in. They have like a little clear cap that like sets the distributor, clocks the distributor for you. It's like it's stupid proof is what it is. But I'll still verify like top dead center and get number 1 pointing where I want number 1 pointing, which typically on a small block Chevy is pointing at the number 1 cylinder, or in that direction anyways. So I'm working on that. I just talked to my buddy Dean, the owner, and we're gonna try and get one ordered. We'll have to order it through Summit, unfortunately. Through Holley, they're not available until July 8th. Summit always has them in stock for some reason. So we're gonna have to try and order one through Summit. So then I said, okay, well, you know, it is what it is, kind of hoop-de-doo. So I took the switches over to the other shop, and I made a box, like just a box to hold the switch panel, and I made it tall to where, because this switch panel is all pre-wired, so everything, you know, sits down in there, nothing's smashed against the bottom. And then I did like a 2-pin plug, and I ran a red and a black all the way back. And the way I did it, and I hooked up all of the trigger wires for the relays going to the relay box. So that's in there. I gotta get some new screws. Of course, they give you cheap screws and they all break. I have it strung along the cage, down and under this footrest, under there, a little bit of slack there that I'll take up once I get everything loomed. So that's kind of what I worked on. And what I did with that red going to the panel was I tied it directly in to the bus bar. So now whenever we turn the breaker on, the panel is lit. Pushing buttons. So the panel is lit. So this will be like our main ignition trigger. And that lights up. Then this will be our starter. That lights up momentarily. And then we'll have whatever, LEDs, floodlights, more LEDs, I don't even know. And then this one here, I specifically put on for the bilge pump that's down there. So that'll be 5 relays, and there's 6 in the box. So I have the extra relay to trigger the MSD box. So the Sniper will be on one relay, the MSD will be on a separate relay. And that'll be this pink. It's either the pink or the red. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've been working on, and coming along. It's very, very close. Basically, once I pin the relays, I'm gonna run a new starter wire, and then just run the lights, the 2 lights over here, the navigation light up there. Once I get all that done and get the boat back up and running, then I'll go through and redo all of the LEDs. They're just kind of everywhere. And I know he's got 2 colors. He's got a yellow and a white. So I have to kind of sort which one's which. Those won't go on a relay. So I may end up having 2 extra relays in that box, which would be kind of neat. Because I can use, for that light, I can use the relay to 2 lights, actually, those lights. And then possibly, I mean, this is an LED. I don't know how much it draws, but I may end up running a relay. It doesn't have very big gauge wire. I'm trying to see the power wire. I can see the ground. Oh, he's got it tucked way up in there. Goes back and over there it is. Oh yeah, it's like a 12 gauge wire. Yeah, it's probably a 12 gauge wire. So it's probably like 15 amp draw or something like that. So I may end up using a relay for that light, and then a relay for those 2 lights. I don't know. We'll kind of see once I get everything else figured out. I'll sort through, because the main things are the Sniper being on a relay and the MSD box being on a relay. Those are the main things that I want on relays. Like I said, the fuel pump has its own relay, which I kind of showed. That's that relay there. It's in the Sniper harness. So I have it zip tied around the little mount, and then my battery's dying, and then this is the fuse for it. So everything's zip tied there, because that's kind of the routing that these wires are gonna take. And like I said, I may make a little standoff come off of the back bar just to hold this gaggle of wires up off of the radiator hoses and everything, just with like a zip tie or like a little push clip, something. But that's it for now. Moving along, getting it done. Hopefully we can get the distributor here soon, because we'll be ready for it. I may try to start the boat with this distributor and kind of see what happens, but worst case, I'll wait for the other one to come in and go from there. But I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new videos, and leave a comment. Thanks again. Have a good day.